Well, hello. Bob's back. More Biker News Canada here on what day is it? Maybe Tuesday evening. So, what happened in Canada so far this week? Been quite a week. So, Mr. Trudeau stepped down. He had his little tears in his eyes and his little, whahs, and I got to step down and all the rest of it. So, he's gone. Now what? Now what? Well, anyways, they ended this session of Parliament. That's what proroguing Parliament means. So there'll be no more new laws or anything passed until there's a new Liberal leader. So the next thing they're going to do is pick a new Liberal leader. That's going to happen, I think, by March. And then after they get a Liberal leader, then there's probably going to be a call for a federal election. So that's what's going to happen with all that stuff. Oops, it's gonna make things interesting in our country yet again. You cannot make things worse in our country, in my humble opinion. Uh, we've been grinding along pretty bad here for a little while since the interest rates went up, and I'll always keep going back to the interest rates. As soon as they went up, that pretty much stopped all the trades. It stopped the building, stopped the trades. So it's killing the middle class. So, and again, I think we already know who the next Prime Minister of Canada is going to be. It will be Mr. Pierre, undoubtedly. Now, let's just not give him too big of a majority, if we can. I guess is the way to put it. He'll privatize the hell out of whatever he can, and leave the citizens, the taxpayers holding the bag. He's already lining up with billionaires. And there's one thing I don't understand about the average man in the States with their love affair with Trump and Elon is if you're not already a billionaire, those guys aren't letting you into their club. You know that, right? You're as close to being a billionaire as I am. So be that what it is. But anyways, I've heard a lot of stuff about, he quit, he ran scared because of Trump. He quit because his party asked him to repeatedly, and finally he listened. So you have to admit he's human, right? So he's got a bit of pride. He thought he was the next one that would be best to beat Poilievre, and I strongly disagree. I don't think anyone's going to beat Poilievre, to be quite honest with you. So it doesn't matter what one of the leader thinks if they think they're the best one for the job to beat the guy in a head-to-head election. They're not. Now, don't forget, Canadian politics is a different animal. So for the friends of mine from the United States, the way we do it is, of course, the country's divided into little sections. Each section is called a riding. Each riding will have a representative from all the parties. Now, there's three main parties: NDP, Liberal, and Conservative. And then there's the Green Party and a couple of small parties. So then we have an election. Everyone votes for the person in their riding, where you live, in your postal code, in your area, whatever it is. And then the party that's got the most seats, which is they won the most of those ridings, as they're called, that party gets power. And then the leader of that party, by virtue of being the leader of that party, that's who is the prime minister. So that's how we work it. We don't actually vote for the prime minister, but we know going into the election who the leader of the party is. So if we're voting for that party, whatever party it may be, then in that sense, yeah, we are kind of voting for a leader. If that makes more sense to you, I don't know. That's as simplified as I can make it. So Trudeau's out. Good for him. Good riddance. See you around. Another guy, full of good intentions, but full of backward talk and dodging questions and all the sort of stuff that nobody likes, right? If somebody, like, we're adults in the room, So if we ask a question, even if we don't like the answer, we want an answer. We don't want to tiptoe dance. We don't want to hum and haw. We want an answer. So we never got that. So now it's time to ask Poilievre the same sort of questions. So he's got some cool catchphrases. Build the homes. 100%. Let's build the homes. But how are you going to get the homes to be built where the last party could not get the homes to be built? If you can explain that to me, Mr. Poilievre, I'll be much obliged. Because if one party couldn't get it done, what is to make you think that you can? Stop the crime. Now, being from the world I'm from, whatever, there's always going to be crime in the world. The biggest criminals are the corporate and the white collar criminals. They're the ones who do the most damage and the biggest money crimes. And they're the ones who never get any punishment. So but I know what he's talking about. Stop street crime, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to make it a criminal offense to be homeless, which God forbid anyone that you know or in your family or yourself ever goes through any of those things. Because, once you're down and you're homeless, it's a pretty big turnaround and then throw an addiction in there. And it's a big turnaround to get yourself back, housed, jobbed, and living. You know what I mean? It's a big turnaround. Some people want to use the government as a career choice. That's what I'm going to do for an income. I do not agree with that. There's kind of not many ways to stop that. Some people always find a way to beat the system. And, all the other stuff. Anyway, let's just see if he's got an actual plan to make things happen. And if he does, God bless him. Because I know already sitting here that he's going to be the next prime minister. So if he can make my life better, then rah, let's do it. Go to it. Let's see it. I'd love it. Love nothing better. Even if you can make the grocery prices come down 20% and the gas prices come down 15%, God bless you. Get at her. So, and then we had another departure of Canadian things that's was another shocker. It happened at the last tournament. So every New Year's and around Christmas, New Year's, they have the World Junior Hockey men's hockey tournament. So it's all the kids that are coming up. They're going to be in the NHL soon. And Canada, they're the host country again this year. And by virtue of being Canadians, we're usually, skating for gold, skating for silvers, whatever, right? So this year, again, second tournament in a row, not just it was a fluke. It's the second time in a row they're knocked out in the quarterfinal round. Now, I'm not a big sports nut. I don't really care about sports. They're just a distraction to keep our minds off of what's really going on in the world. But a lot of people do like sports. So I don't know what's going on in Hockey Canada. Seems like things went south since they had that big assault case in London, Ontario. 5 guys that are now in the pros got charged, dragged through the courts, still in the courts. And I tell you from personal experience, that is a strange culture where, and amongst the players, they're young people, and they're easily, if one person says it and they think it's cool, then they all say it. I'm not giving them excuses. I'm just explaining to you how it works and what I've noticed from the hockey culture. It is kind of an assault kind of culture. Don't ask me why. They do it to each other in the showers. They do it when they're breaking in new guys to the team. It's a weird culture. And it seems like on the international level of play, things have gone down since that incident. Like I say, in London, Ontario, the charges came finally, according to the family anyways, finally last year. Something that happened quite a few years ago. I think 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 years ago. So Trudeau said goodbye. The Canadian men's junior hockey team took an early departure from the tournament. Thankfully, they're not related. But that's what's happened so far. Only 6, 7 days into the year so far. And we already got that going on. So for my TikTok viewers, time's up. Thank you very much. And for YouTube, I'm going to wrap it up with that one too. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be back with some more biker news. I might do myself a quick video to reaction to a comment to somebody give me a blast of bullshit on another person's YouTube this morning. And so maybe I'll just do a video. Maybe I'll do it live. I'll do it live. And if they want to get in there in the comments, blast away, blast, blast, blast. From what I see, I did things as good as I could. Yes, I made mistakes. I'll talk about it on the next video. That'll be a more personal thing. And until then, have a great night, everyone. Love you all who watch my videos. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with some biker news tomorrow. All right, good night.